Hi, friends. I thought of doing a small little meditation kind of a session with Vanashree. I have a lot of parents who come to me and say that they are too frustrated, they're too angry, they're too uncomfortable sitting at home, and things are getting too much. And then they have to take care of the, kitchen. They have to take care of washing the vessels. There's no help. They have to take care of the house, the cleaning, and the child. And it's getting really, really too much. So, I hope this conversation with Vanashree helps you to help yourself. Let me know what you feel about this. Vanashree,
Hi, Reena, how are you?
I'm good. So, my dear friends, Vanashree is an art based therapist, and she is also actually an art based educator. And she conducts and she teaches, she trains students who are becoming art based therapists. So, welcome, Vanashree. I'm so
Thank you.
happy that you decided to come. And I wanted you to help out kids, rather, I would say parents, who are listening to us to understand what to do, in this kind of lockdown phase. So, if there's anything that you would like to share.
Yeah, thank you, Reena. It's actually to be here because one of the things that I do is I work with adults so that they are able to. So, even in arts based therapy, we work with mindfulness practices because it's important for caregivers or educators to first take themselves. It's the principle of when you enter an airline and they guide you through, emergency services, and
Yeah,
they say first put on your mask. It
yes.
doesn't sit with us that if you have a child alarm, do it first for yourself and then with the child, but actually that works best.
No,
So
no, I
one of
completely agree, because the fact is, if the parent is stressed, the child is stressed. If the
yes,
parent is happy, the child is happy, because kids are so little, they're constantly co-regulating,
yes,
constantly. So I
absolutely.
completely agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So basically,
Mm.
but you see what happens with most, a lot of parents is that they, on the one hand, they do need the space, and that is, that is not being selfish at all. That is, in fact, little more, so it is self care, of course, at a very basic level. But what I would be urging is for that self care to move into the area of self compassion. So we need some basics. So self care remains at the level of hygiene, where absolutely a must, but it's nicer to sort of raise that bar and make it self compassion towards before we start working with our the either our children or whoever else that we are giving care to. And with special needs, it's a difficult time for everyone. Yeah, I mean, with special needs, I fully understand how difficult it must be for
Yeah.
those children to be stuck at home. One, because they are in the same atmosphere and not too many choices. For some, it is difficult to even understand, fully grasp the concept of what is happening. But even then, even if they do fully understand the situation to the extent that they can, still, they are they have been settled into a routine, and everyone has taken the pains to settle them down in that routine,
Yeah.
and suddenly out,
Yes.
and it's very hard to adjust for everyone, so I can understand the difficulty.
Yeah.
What If you feel that we have the time, Ina, we could start with some mindfulness practice, because in theory it's all good to hear that you
Yeah.
need to do this and that, but it eventually boils down to, are you prepared to practice on a regular basis?
True, true.
So
I would love you to share something that people can, do while they listen to us, or something. I don't know how, whatever way you can guide and facilitate.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll start with a very short 5 or 7 minute practice, which is really what we do. It's called shamatha practice. Shamatha stands for, or in Pali language, if you say, it's anapana. Now, so to most, I don't know the profile of the parents watching here, but I'd just like to say that it's a very secular practice. When we use words, we are only using them because it's an ancient practice, and in recent times, that is in the last years, it has completely been proven neuroscientifically as been, something that works directly on the brain. And, so keeping that in mind, let the words not be an obstacle. So,
It's like, if I want to call my dad daddy, or I want to call him papa, I want to call him baba, they all mean the same.
literally,
Yeah,
yes, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. That's
yeah,
exactly it. So, let's not get stuck with the words. We really are looking at a practice which is has to do with the breath. And I'll just take 30 more seconds to explain why the breath. Well, there are only, so the human body and the whole universe, we are seeing it more and more that the earth is even capable of sort of revolting if the rhythms are out of whack, isn't it? So, at the level of the human being, at the human body, we are all working with rhythms. We see rhythms outside, day and night, seasons, all
yes,
of this. For
yes.
us, again, it is the timeliness of eating or the timeliness of sleeping at the right time. So, what supports us with all of this is our two main things that we can actually, look at and measure for ourselves. One is the breath, and the other is our pulse. So we know, like pulse stands for the heart rate. So we know, for example, if everything is going well, then your breath is also normal and natural. When we are angry, agitated, anxious for any reason, then the heartbeat sort of quickens,
Yeah,
your pulse rate changes, your breath also is either faster. So that's a good measure of whether you're out of rhythm with yourself or not. Now, of the two, you choose the breath for a very simple reason that your heartbeat is, say, you can feel the heartbeat jumping faster, but there is no way that you can actually, focus on it and then bring it back.
there's no
No
voluntary
control.
control. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
No control.
yeah.
Whereas on the breath, it's possible immediately for you, if nothing else, to start taking deep breaths consciously. So we actually can have our mind step in there and we can take our own measures immediately. That's the reason we work with the breath. And the breath is directly connected to our emotions. Now, there is a huge scientific research saying, and we will not go into that, but take it from me that basically the breath is connected. We can actually change the way our body functions, the chemicals in the body with our
Actually,
breathing.
can I share something over here?
Please do. Yes.
See, the fact is, the recent theory, the polyvagal theory, suggests that, when we are very stressed out, then we have a ventral vagus, and that part of the vagus nerve we
Yes,
can regulate by a breath. So the
absolutely.
fact is, we can be in control of a fight flight response
Exactly.
through the breath. So I
Yes.
love what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And a lot of the times, even though we say fight and flight, most of the time we are not fighting. We are mostly in a freeze mode. That is actually the killer.
Yes.
Although, so most of us are uh, immediately we get into non-action. That is really the freeze for us. We don't know. We are caught up in what we know that something needs to change, but we don't know what exactly. And it
True.
helps to simply, catch your breath, figure out where you are, check in with yourself, with your body and mind, and the breath is the best way to do that.
Yes.
So for that, I would just get into this the practice of watching your breath, and I can take you through it as you go. So if everyone is sitting down, then I would like for everyone to plant their feet on the ground,
Okay.
very comfortably, at ease. We are not stressing anything. Keep your back gently upright. Sit very comfortably. If you have a backrest, then the idea is to use the backrest, but don't lean back, because we need to actually pull your back up very gently. Uh, just imagine that you have a string at the top of your head, and that string
Mm.
is gently pulling your head up. So
Mm.
curvature of the spine is maintained, and your neck is straight and upright, and then gently close your eyes. If anyone is at all uncomfortable closing their eyes, that's not a problem at all. You can, sort of drop your eyelids and watch a space which is about a foot away from where you're sitting, and watch that spot and concentrate on that. And now we are slowing down, and so we will simply focus our mind on our breathing. And normally, when we watch our breath, we are watching it at the nostrils. at the space just below your nostrils, above your upper lip. But if it's hard to watch that space, another good spot is as you're naturally and normally breathing, to be conscious of your belly button. And you can feel your belly button moving out. As you inhale, it sort of expands. As you exhale, it goes in. So continue to watch your breath as it goes in and out. And you'll see your mind actually settling down for a few moments. But then thoughts will arise. And just like a mother who gently leads her child back to be still, you simply get your mind back to your breathing, to your breath. And one more time, get your mind back to your breath at your nostrils. And even get your mind at the chest level, if that is easier. Touching your chest rise and fall with every breath. And then, because as your thoughts are slowing down, it's possible that you will feel some discomfort in some areas of your body. Maybe your lower back feels uncomfortable, or your shoulders are too tight. So, keeping your mind on your breathing, just bring ease to that. If your forehead is too tight, jaw is tight, simply mindfully bringing ease. A few moments more like that. And once more to simply bring your mind back to the breathing. This is all done with ease towards yourself. It's a habit of the mind to run away, and that's okay. We find that our mind has run off, gently get it back. Bringing your mind now to awareness of where you are, the space that you are. Bringing alertness. Then, when you feel ready, you may gently open your eyes.
That was nice.
Thank you.
It's
It is a
yeah,
calming exercise, isn't it?
it's like meditation, you know.
Yeah.
That's how we are taught. I mean, since kids, we were like, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yes.
You know? And I was always like, why? Why
Yeah.
think of the breath, you know? It's so easy to forget the breath and focus on other things.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
one of the things that happens is once you say this is meditation, of course, it's a kind of, there are some, at least I practice Buddhist philosophy and psychology, and there are some 84,000 different types of meditations available. So to suit every personality, and we are not obviously going to pursue all of those ever. The point is, this is the simplest and the easiest, and it's accessible to everyone. But the problem is, the minute we say meditation, like you rightly said, you tend to run in the opposite direction, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
why would you want to do that, right? It's not for me. I'm not old enough. So these are the things that are, you're already always, concepts for yourself. So what is useful is to have, so what we call meditation practices, or rather mindfulness practices. Meditation is only a part of it. Mindfulness is not equal to meditation. Meditation forms only a small part of it. So what is the other part really? The other part is what we say off the cushion practices. Because you can be, the idea of even meditation, even if you were following meditation really rigorously, even then the whole idea of meditation is not to be feeling good on the cushion. The whole idea is that it impacts your life in a positive way that is beneficial to you,
And
right?
it's like being aware on a moment to moment basis.
Yes.
If I'm working with a child, and if I'm a parent, and if I'm like, oh God, because of the lockdown, I didn't do the therapies today because I was busy cleaning the vessels, I was busy cooking,
Yes.
I am in self sabotage. Oh God, why am I doing this? Then, as you said very beautifully, bring self compassion, that it's okay. Today I
It's
didn't
okay.
do.
Yes.
It's fine. It's all right, you know.
Yes.
And it's like, oh God, I had to follow these many exercises and I couldn't
Correct.
do them. Then
Yes.
it's again self compassion. It's okay, no problem.
Right.
So it's, as you beautifully said, it's about being mindful every single moment of the day and in every single interaction of ours, especially on my channel with our kids. You know, we keep getting angry, and we don't want them to use the screens, and we don't want a lot of things, and then we are not able to balance everything. And so there's a lot of self criticism, and if
Yes.
that's replaced by self compassion, I think
Yes.
that will really help.
Yes. But Reena, the thing here is that while the moment to moment is what we look toward, it's actually in practice very hard to do, even if we fully remain. And the off the cushion practices are the ones that help us. So just as a going away gift, I would say, because I received this as a gift, so I'm simply passing it forward. It's nice to, if everyone can practice this for 5 minutes, maybe 5 times a day, 5 minutes once a day, That's also good. But if none of this is working, it's not something that sits well with you, then the best thing is to sort of identify for yourself something that you do, on in your regular day. For example, now of course we don't have the doorbell ringing as a reminder 5 times a day. So you look at opening the fridge or washing the vessels. So you know that you're going to do this 3 times a day at least, isn't it?
Yeah.
So each time that you do that, that becomes your reminder for your mindfulness practice. So
Wow.
as you stand there,
Anchor,
just
basically
anchor
get anchor.
yourself, quickly
Oh,
get yourself back, check in on yourself. Are you in your rhythm right now? You can, take just 2 moments to take in 2 breaths. And am I in self compassion right now? Am I in a place where I forgive myself
yeah.
and hug myself mentally or actually physically just doing this? All of these really work wonders, and you'll see your agitation, anxiety actually taking dipping down, and a sort of positivity and benefits arising out of that going up if you practice this regularly.
Wow, this is nice. Lovely.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Vanashree. It was really helpful. Very helpful.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.